Oh dear, look at the trains. Oh dear, backed up, underground, backed up everywhere. Backed up here, there, and oh my goodness me, that is something else I have to look at. Hello everybody, and welcome back to City Fix with me, Biffa, and today we're going to try and look at some preventative measures to try and stop your city getting so bad that you don't know what to do to fix the traffic. And we're going to use this city, submitted by Cheezeberga. He calls it My Humble City. It's called Spring Valley, I think, in the save game. I'll put the link to the save game in the description below if you have the Steam Workshop. And overall, it's not a badly laid out city. As we can see, we've got a nice port down here for all your industry stuff. I'm using the Ultimate Eye Candy mod if you're wondering why it's suddenly going night and dark so quick. We've got this big island here in the middle, which I really like the look of. And then some other little things spotted around. And you've sent me a nice handy list of all the problems that you've got. Now, before we dive into taking a look at those, just a reminder, because so many people miss this. Traffic Manager, I play with no despawning. It makes traffic worse. So the base game has despawning just built in. That's the way it is. You will still get traffic, but it may not clog up your city. I just like to make things even harder for myself, and I do no despawning. That is the idea. So let's take a look at the list of problems your city has, because on the face of it, things are moving. So what are we here to fix? Well, you really filled out the submission form very, very well. One of the reasons I picked your city to fix. Nice detail on your problems. So let's just pause the game and zoom out and find what you've listed here. So the first thing you say is that your trains are locked up near the edges of the map. So let's just try and find a train line and see what your problem is. Okay, so here we go. You've got the unlimited outside connections mod. So you've made some different connections, and you've got 3 lines coming here and going down to 2. And I'm just wondering how you've got these set up. So let's have a look with the vehicle restriction mod. Ah, there we go. So you've got no cargo set on this side, no passengers set on this side. So you've got a cargo rail and a passenger rail that are separated. Okay, well, let's follow that in, because at the moment it seems perfectly clear. Let's see what it's like when we get a bit nearer the city. Okay, here we get to the middle of the city, and you can see the orange trains here are slowing right down and starting to get all blocked up here. You've got what I'm assuming is an asset from the workshop. It's got like one-way train lines, bridges, all sorts of things going on, and yeah, the trains are getting slower and slower. Okay, so that's one issue we need to look at. Now, you also mentioned your port area getting pretty slow. You've got this oval about set up here, which I don't think is too bad. Let's just take a look whether you've got that set up with Traffic Manager. I'm going to do Control, Shift, and left click. Get all the giveaway signs automatically set up. Probably no lane switching and a few. Oh, I see. You've done... Right, okay. You've done overkill on your Traffic Manager lane setup. I see you've sort of done the... tried to help them out with the which lanes to take and all that sort of thing, but no. Let me just remove all of these and then we'll set up this roundabout again, because if you do too much of that, it just confuses the AI that Traffic Manager is adding into the game anyway, because that is sort of tweaking the, as you know, the truck AI and that sort of thing. Right, let me remove these. Okay, so that's all of those removed from the roundabout. So if we do this again, Control Shift left click, just make sure it's just selecting that. Yep, there we go. So you will notice it's going to add some in. Has it added any in? No, it hasn't actually added any in, so that's fine. So it's done all the giveaway signs and everything for us, which is great. That's what you need. So there we go. Everybody giving way, everybody giving way. So basically what is slowing all of this down here and the problems you're having is... yeah, you see, no one's getting dedicated lanes correctly, are they? So where you've got them, ignore this one for the one underneath, but for this node here, where you've got them coming on, it's fine to do that. So look at these ones going this way. So they get their lanes coming on, which is fine. So I'm going to add those back on to the on-ramp there. And you've got one there. And that's it. That's fine. So then they're going to use a cut. Oh, we've got another one here. There we go. So then we're going to just let them use the nodes that are available to change lanes. And then coming off here, you've actually got 2 coming off. Are they using 2? Let's see where that goes. Oh, yeah, okay. So if they want to go straight on, they've got their own one. That's fine. But then they do sort of slow down here. And there's not much coming around this roundabout, to be honest. So let's have a look how you've got this set up. I would take that out and just say, keep going. I would also use the move it mod. And I'm going to just curve that round a bit, just so they don't have to slow down as much. Because coming around there, that angle was quite tight. You could even sort of do the same there. Help these trucks get off a little bit quicker. We'll just do that. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's have a look what's going on here. They're not able to get round. I'm assuming... Oh, there is give way on there. Okay. But the game isn't right. Okay. So I'm wondering now whether your traffic manager is set up correctly as well. So let's take a look at that. So we'll just pause the game. We'll go into our options. We'll go into traffic manager. And the first thing I spot is your simulation accuracy is very low. So I would say change that to high. Depends on how good your system is, whether it will cope with it. Apply AI changes right away. And then if we go into gameplay, enable advanced vehicle AI, and I would put that up to sort of about 75-80% ish. You've also got Path of Evil. Let's change that to Holy City. This one here doesn't really matter. You can leave that like it is. So now we should notice that they're going to pay more attention to the giveaway. There we go. They're stopping now, which is good. These are keeping going. So again, coming down here, they've got to slow down again. Do you know what? As they're all just sort of coming down here, let's just use the in-game tool to actually see where they're all going. If we pick this one here, so some are going that way, but most are coming up under here onto this road underneath. Could we give them a better access to there? Like here, could we just swing a road round and then all that traffic doesn't have to even go via the roundabout? Okay, so I've just put this sweep on here and put 2 lanes at the end so they can choose which way they want to go. What I'd like to do there is tell them that that one can go there and that one can go there. So when they come into this node here, they can pick which lane they want. And what we should see is once they've all got themselves sorted out is more of these trucks picking to go this way. And I'd like... I'm just wondering whether I'm going to tell them actually only to go right. I think I'm going to do that. And I'll tell you why. Because there's not many that are going to go left. Let's do that instead. So you get all confused. There we go. Because then they can just keep going. Look at that. They can just keep going. Have no issue at all, which is going to keep this bit moving, which will then hopefully keep all of this bit moving as well. So let's just give that a second and keep an eye on that. Look, hardly any are coming down here, so that means this is all free. So what I might just do actually is just change that back to give way there like it should be. There we go. And then if this got too bad, you could put some asymmetric roads in here. So a 2 and a 1, 2 and a 1, and then when it met this, it would go back to 2 again. You know, use your lane mathematics, it'd be fine. Right, let's leave this running for a second. That's okay, isn't it? And now that there's not so much traffic coming down here, they've got plenty of space. You can see them all changing lanes, not getting in each other's way, and it split out the traffic up there and down here. So I think that is this area sorted. Oh dear, look at the trains. Oh dear, backed up, backed up, backed up, backed up, backed up, underground, backed up everywhere. Backed up here, there, and oh my goodness me, that is something else I have to look at. The other problem you mentioned was, I think it was this road up here. Everybody was only using 1 lane, and particularly as they were coming around here into the junction, it was causing all sorts of problems. But putting on that enhanced AI for driving really makes a huge difference to that. And I noticed that you have put a lot of lane mathematics in here already, which is also helping. So that problem has just solved itself. Fantastic. So the next problem that you mention is your offices not growing. So if we have a look in this area here, you have a lot of offices zoned, which is fantastic. There's nothing in this district which would stop your offices growing, but yeah, they're not coming. So but if you have a look down here, your demand for industry is at 0. You've got no demand whatsoever. Now I have the demand master mod in. I'm not saying this is the fix to your problem, but this can show you what the difference is. If we actually put some demand for industry on in the game and then just run the game for a few seconds, we should see some of these offices start to grow. Okay, so as you can see, the office buildings are now coming in. I've actually restarted the game and removed the demand master mod. Look, I can't click on this anymore, and you'll see the need for industrial offices is now going down, so you might get a couple more popping in. But what is it that's caused that? Well, probably the simplest way to explain it is an imbalance between your residential demand, your commercial demand, and your industry demand. There is a balance that is needed between those. Very basically, people that live in houses go to shops to buy goods. The goods get the stuff from the industry, and that's basically how it works. If you have too much of your commercial zone in your city, then they're constantly putting out calls for goods. We need more goods. We want to sell more goods. Send the goods to us. And then the industry is flapping hard saying, we've got to make all of these goods, and they can't make enough. So many calls are being put out for goods that the industry can't keep up. So then what you'll see is, if we look at our outside connection, you are basically importing goods, so many goods into your city. Look, we can see all the little purple places. These are all commercial and not getting the goods that they need, and we don't really have a demand for industry. So the solution there isn't to build more industry, to make more goods and solve the problem that way, because there's no demand for industry. The solution is to remove some of your commercial, and we can see there's even more demand for commercial than anything else. In my mind, this is slightly imbalanced. I would say always have less commercial than this bar tells you. So I think if we start removing some of the commercial from your city, we're going to find the problem gets better. So let's just have a look around. Like, you've got, there's going to be a huge, okay, some commercial that isn't needed. I'm going to remove this commercial around here. You've only got a little bit of industry, a little bit of residential. They don't need that many shops. So I'm going to remove these that are here. There we go. And then let's have a look over here. We've got a few shops by this area. That is still probably more shops than they would need. So I'm going to just remove some of those. And of course you could replace these with, there we go, replace these with residential as the demand goes up. What else have you got up here? Oh, you've got a nice big residential, a few shops there. Yeah, again, this is quite a lot all the way down here, so I'm going to remove all of this, maybe even this along here as well. Yeah, let's get rid of that. You've got this huge commercial block all the way down here, and again, not much residential nearby to sort of deal with that. So I'm going to remove a lot. Of course, you can put some back as the demands change. You can maybe change it and put in some residential or offices instead, but this is so far away from any other residential that's going to travel there. You're basically trying to keep all of this busy just with these people here, and they don't need that much, so that's going to go. Also, just to mention, what you are doing is good here. You have a mix of residential and offices and commercial all sort of near each other. Don't forget that offices won't make goods. They just provide jobs, particularly for university workers, university students once they've left. But yeah, having a mix like this and not having huge blocks of commercial at other places, so they don't have to travel so far, that's a good way to keep your city working well. I'm just going to remove these ones on the outskirts here. Big faux pas. You've actually got stuff built on a roundabout. Oh, that is shocking. That is absolutely shocking. I'm going to remove that. You've got a lot of industry here. Lots down there, lots along here, lots up there. Yeah, maybe not as much as you think you'd need again. So once again, I'm going to remove... I'm probably going through the city and removing about half of all the... did I say industry? I meant commercial. About half of all the commercial that I see. Something like that. And here we are in your downtown area right by the port. You've got some huge business strips that are running along here, which are fine normally, but there's so much. So what you could do, for instance, like this little strip down here, we could have a look, just make sure that that's zoned separately. Yes, it is. Don't think this is set up for any sort of specialization. No. So we could just change this commercial strip along here. Let's go into our district tab, this one here, and you can set that up as tourism specialization or leisure specialization. So let's set this one up as tourism down here, so all those buildings will rebuild themselves. And then, is there another good one that we can find? Let's have a look. The leisure one's going to be quite noisy, so you want that sort of, if you're going to do that, a little bit further away from your residential area. I think that'll probably do for now. So that's probably, I would say, about half of your commercial removed in your city. Like, yeah, I thought that was a load of commercial there. Removed in your city. So I'm going to run it for a while now. We've got this strip down here. Actually, this little strip here, this bit here, I bet we could turn some of this. Let's just put in a new little district. I'm going to just do one along here, as that's a little bit further away from sort of low residential. Not this bit over here. And then we'll change that to leisure. And we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully that'll make a difference. There we go. These are popping in and regrowing. So yeah, let me run the city for a few minutes and we'll see what difference that's made to importing goods. Right, so while we're waiting for that to balance out, have noticed a huge traffic jam down here. Let's follow this and see where this is going. So let's just double check the lanes that we've got going on here. Yep, so they've got dedicated lanes for going off. Let's just check you haven't got any hawky-balky. Yeah, you have got that in there, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. That's exactly what we want them to do. Alongside the completely blocked up rail network, which we will get to. Yeah, they've all got dedicated lanes coming on, which is good. Bit of Hugo there. We like that. Wow, these highways are massive. And then they're all coming down here. I'm just checking you're not forcing them at any point. So they're all coming down here to this roundabout. Why are they all coming down here to this roundabout? Well, let's use the in-game tool, find out where they're all going. Let's pick this segment here. So quite a few are going on. Some are going back round. The rest are coming all the way down here and then spreading out from here to go to different places. So this is where the traffic jam starts, and they're going all the way round just to get down here. Do we think maybe we could give them some assistance? What's at the other end? Yeah, I think we could. We need some sort of extra slip lane to come off of here. I would perhaps suggest, let's have a look, maybe off of here somewhere. Okay, so I've just run a little slip lane off down here. I may just upgrade that to a, no, National Road is two-way, a two-lane highway. Just when it gets a little bit further down here. Can I upgrade that little piece under there? There we go, just to give them some added speed. And I've just put a little tunnel here. You can see where the train line used to go. So I've just lowered that down a bit. And then we've got two lanes coming out onto the roundabout, which is good. Let's just lower this down a spot, level that out a bit. Excellent. So let us just put a giveaway sign there. Everything else is all set up correctly. Make sure there's no unnecessary. Nope, that's fine. Control left click there with this tool to give dedicated turning lanes, which we don't have on here. There we go. So that should help with that. And then here we want to do a control left click as well to give a dedicated turning lane off. And hopefully what that's going to do is now bring them down here. I mean, it's not going to help all of these guys. They've still got to get through the roundabout and all through this area here. So let's just take a quick look. We've only got two lanes going around here. I've only got one lane coming on as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly change this just to sort of help in the future. We're going to give them two lanes coming in, and then I'm going to upgrade this. I know you've sort of used the industry road, but to try and sort of solve a traffic problem, I'm going to upgrade that to 3, and then we can give... Oh, I've set that to bridge on all of that, haven't I? Ah, never mind, it's going to work. And then we're going to give everybody a dedicated turning lane coming off. Control left click, control left click, control left click, like that. And then just double check, give way, and everything is fine. And then what we might just find is this traffic here will go down a little bit quicker. I actually want them not to change lanes in the middle of these two segments. So that counts as one big segment. They can pick their lane when they come in here. And hopefully... So why are these guys stopping? No, they're going okay. They're going through. Just to encourage the... Yep, it's already set to go through. And we've got so many lanes here. I'm just wondering whether we could just make this 2 lanes all the way up and have 2 lanes going off. But then they'll start lane switching up here. Whereas, no, that's fine. So we'll leave that like that for now. So what we should see is this go down quite quickly. Yeah, that was taking a long time to go through, so I just put a little bypass lane on here for now, and look at that, it's only queuing up to here. All the traffic down here has gone, all the traffic around here has gone, all the traffic down here has gone, so hopefully our little lane down here isn't causing any issues, so they're coming down in dribs and drabs, come along here, and yeah, there's a few that are queuing up here, but that's not too bad, they'll get out eventually, it's not queuing too far. This one here is pretty bad. I think once this has gone down, these will start getting out a bit better. We could also just, I mean, eventually you could just remove that line there, but we could also just do this and say go through. Yeah, we only want those to go straight ahead, and that should be okay. Yeah, let me just give that a minute, make sure this traffic goes down over here. Okay, so this is just a super busy road coming down here. Lots of traffic coming this way. So I want to help them get out a little bit quicker. So instead of this 4-lane road going smack straight into the roundabout and having a real harsh right angle turn, like this one here, you get a straight down right angle turn, I've just changed it to these 2 little roads going up and down, and then I've used the Move It mod just to curve it a little bit, so when they can go, quite a few more are getting out each time, whereas as before, one car was getting out or one lorry was getting out at once. So that has worked nicely, and then I've just used our little lane tool here, lane connector, to make sure that those 2 are going up there and those 2 are going down there, so no U-turns. And that has helped a little bit. And then I'll just move this junction up a tiny spot, and let's take a look at the traffic. There we go, it's only sort of up to here now as opposed to all the way down there. One more thing we could do is make them pick their lane back here instead of doing hawky-balky lane switching in the middle. Now, I'd only do this in certain circumstances, and this would be one of them, because this is basically only taking them from one node to another, so they can pick their lane here, and if we stop them picking their lane, whoops, wrong button, everywhere else, let's just quickly do this. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong button. There we go. Go away off the screen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You go there. There we go. So now they have to pick their node up here, which is fine because they're turning the corner anyway, and that's not going to cause traffic. Again, we could do a similar thing this end to help them get around the corner quicker, but it's okay. And then they're going to stick in their lane all the way down. And there we go. Look, all the traffic's gone already. Brilliant. And I've just done the same at the other end of this road as well to help the traffic going in the other direction. And our little bypass, little slip lane that we've got down here, just curve that back a bit so they can get out a lot easier, because that was backing up here. And I've also stopped them lane switching all the way back here until we get to this node where it goes from 1 to 2 and they can spread out. So that works nicely. And I think if we just give this a few minutes, we should find that the traffic on here will go down as well. Yeah, there we go. A few minutes later, it's not backing up here at all. And it's not backing up here. And at the other end, not backing up here. Brilliant. Right, some time has gone by. So what effect has removing, I would say, about 50% of our commercial from the city done for us? Well, let's take a look. Let's go up here, have a look at our outside connections. Wow, that has dropped immensely. That total import used to be, was it 13,000, something like that, is now down to 4,000, and we can see the goods where they're being requested dotted around the place. And now we have a need for some industry. So we have a look down here. Yeah, this is filled out, hasn't it? With all of our industry buildings that we put in, which is fantastic. You will probably spot, there we go, some little symbols like this, not enough goods to sell. Well, that's fine, because now we have a need for industry. We can start filling some of those needs for goods, which is fantastic. So I will let you do that. But that is basically how to deal with not having enough needs for industry in your city. Just sort of looking around the city for any other issues that we've got. Couple of hot spots over here in a super busy oil industry. It all seems to be converging on here. Let's just take a look what's going on. So you've got 2 lanes here, 2 lanes here, and 4 lanes there, but that doesn't seem to be right to me. Let's just do that again. Yeah, there we go. So we can force them into those lanes. Oh, then I know what's going to happen now. You've put this here. If I take that out, people are then going to try and switch lanes here to decide whether to go left or right. Okay, I can see what the problem is. I think what we might have to do, because if they're coming down here, they're basically being forced to go this way, which is fine because they can still leave up there. They can still get to that same junction, can't they? Which is this little area here. They go up there, they can come off there. If they go up there, they can go... Hang on, let's follow this one. So these are forced down to come this way, which then means they come round and they come out and over here. So, yeah, it's a bit of a long way round, but it will just keep them going, which is good. I would say no lane switch in there. They can pick their node here, which will be a lot better. This, you've got... Yeah, maybe some extra lanes needed there, but you're okay. Oh, my goodness, you've got so much lane stuff going on. Ooh, it's like, what do I do? What do I delete first? It's actually moving, so it is going to be super busy. This bit here, I'm guessing you've got this set up as a roundabout. Yeah, you have. Let's change that to dedicated lanes coming off. Oh, it's trying to do 2 lanes. I bet that's because you've got this. Yeah, let's remove that. Do a dedicated lane coming off. And there, and there. You've got all of it. Yeah, don't have these. Don't have them set up like that. If you're going to have it as a roundabout, have it as a roundabout. If you want to do the hawky-balky, set up every lane to every direction thing, then don't use it as a roundabout. Take out all your giveaway signs and all that sort of stuff. But if we take all of these out on this little mini sort of roundabout thing, so you could actually make that into a proper roundabout and have it go round, but... Eek! Okay, I've sort of changed it there to try and make it more like a roundabout. So you can see now if we control left click, there we go, we get all the giveaway signs coming on. Probably need to do a little bit of change in here. You've got too many lanes coming up here. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me, there's so much going on. What is this one doing over here? That's your shipbuilder thing. Okay, so let's change where that goes. Let's have that connect up here instead. It's just using the normal road, isn't it? So we can just add that on ourselves. There we go. We're going to bring that up here and connect to there. That's fine. So we don't need that extra connection. Then you've got all of these coming up. Yeah, you've just got too many lanes everywhere. Too many lanes. Well, let's just see if this will go down as we've set it up, and hopefully that will help. Okay, things are moving a bit better, but you've got this right in the middle here. So your queue of your traffic is just going to come up onto this roundabout, which even though I adjusted this bit, was still then going to block up everything else. But you've got this nice big road coming down here, which goes straight over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to take a bit of this, and I'm going to pop that right there. There we go. That's still going to work. Let's use the move it mods. I mean, they go in and out here. So if I just move that over a bit. There we go. So instead of coming down there, they're going to use this road instead. And then I wonder whether to leave that connected there, because they're still going to come down there and come in. Okay, so here we are back at the Wiggler train about. I don't know what you would call this thing. I mean, it's very nifty. It's got lots of one-way rails. These like thinner ones are one-way rails. Hard to say that. Coming in. And it sort of works. It sort of works. But I think we've solved the problem with our train traffic, because with all of that extra commercial stuff, all of those goods being sucked in from outside, from the other invisible cities that are around our city outside of our map, so many trains were coming in that the game just couldn't cope, and your rail network just couldn't cope. So solving one problem has led on to another problem solving itself. That is just the sort of city fix that I like. So even though the traffic percentage wasn't the main thing we were looking at in the city this time, it was preventative measures. Even in hard mode with no despawning, what is our traffic at? 85%. Yes, as always, there's a few little red spots where things are getting busy, but it's moving enough to be well above 80%, which for me is absolutely fantastic. So I hope you found that information useful, how to prevent certain problems that would appear in your cities and what to do if you have no industry demand. Very interesting one to fix. If you would like me to take a look at your city, the submission form is in the description below. No guarantee, but I pick ones that have got interesting problems and see what I can do. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, a like is always appreciated, and I will see you very soon. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye.